Welcome to VIP Auto. Today we're diving deep into a truck that's been part of America's work and weekend DNA for generations. The Ford F-150. Black paint, street presence, and an attitude that can be built to suit any lifestyle. From workhorse to weekend warrior, and everything in between. In this deep dive, I'm breaking down what matters: powertrains, towing and payload realities, trim choices, tech and convenience that actually help, and the build choices you'll regret or love. We're thinking like owners, buyers, and operators who want to use this truck hard and live with it happily. Start with the vibe. A black F-150 in proper trim reads like intent. Matte or glossy, it's a tone that says you want capability married to a clean, purposeful look. Black hides nothing and shows everything. Chrome pops, glass reflections read clearly, and a well-detailed paint job makes the body line sing. For many buyers, black is safe, but when you spec wheels, trim, and the right exterior packages, that safety becomes a canvas. The F-150's proportions, hood length, cab-to-bed balance, and wheel arch stance are designed to feel purposeful, whether the truck's empty or hauling a heavy load. Under the hood is where the F-150's reputation is earned. Ford offers a range of powertrains to hit multiple buyer briefs. Efficient base options for daily drivers, big torque EcoBoost variants for towing, the hybrid Power Boost for a mix of utility and economy, and the electric F-150 Lightning for buyers who want clutch-free power and a different ownership model. Each powertrain shifts the conversation. Are you maximizing MPG and Pro Power onboard output? Or are you prioritizing maximum towing and straight-line authority? Understanding those trade-offs early is the key to a happy truck build. Let's talk numbers because specs matter for capability. The available 3.5L Power Boost full hybrid V6 blends twin-turbo gas muscle with an integrated electric motor and battery, producing around 430 horsepower and roughly 570 lb-ft of torque in its published form. A package that gives strong tow performance plus Pro Power onboard exportable electricity for tools and camp setups. The conventional 5.0L V8 options deliver robust, linear power too, often in the 400 HP range depending on tune, and are a trusted choice for buyers who want a traditional V8 soundtrack and service familiarity. If you're looking for maximum trailer ratings, certain EcoBoost and V8 combos push the rating up into the mid-13,000-pound range for the right configuration. Hybrid variants offer excellent usability but have slightly different towing envelopes. Know the exact configuration and axle ratio before you plan a heavy tow. It matters more than trim badge. What the hybrid Power Boost gives you that's tangible: high torque numbers low in the band, on-demand Pro Power onboard output for running tools or campsite gear, and better real-world cruising efficiency when you're not constantly hauling max loads. For fleet users or contractors, that Pro Power output can change job site logistics. You might skip a generator and plug straight into the truck, but trade-offs exist. Complexity increases, and service is different than a pure gas powertrain. Factor that into your ownership plan. F-150 Lightning, Ford's full electric variant, changes the playbook entirely. Instant torque from the dual-motor setup provides brisk acceleration and a different kind of hauling dynamic. Depending on battery and package, it can deliver a substantial horsepower figure and a meaningful range. It also brings unique capabilities like vehicle-to-home or vehicle-to-tool power export that reshape how people think about trucks as mobile power hubs. If you're building for silent, strong torque and onboard energy for remote job sites, the Lightning is worth a close look. But remember, charging infrastructure and tow-induced range loss are real considerations. Frame, suspension, and ride dynamics. The F-150 presents multiple suspension calibrations across trims. Lower, more comfort-focused trims tune the dampers for composed daily driving. Heavy-duty towing setups and specific towing packages stiffen things to manage trailer weight and limit body motion. The optional adaptive suspensions on higher trims help bridge the gap. They smooth out body motion when cruising, but firm up when the truck senses load and speed that demands stability. If ride comfort is a priority for mixed-use owners, test the specific trim and axle ratio under a comparable load. Factory demo miles on a loaded trailer are the honest test. Towing and payload are where spec discipline is essential. Trailer capacities vary wildly by engine, axle ratio, cab and bed configuration, and equipment. The headline numbers you see online are usually the maximum achievable with a specific 3.5L EcoBoost or high-capacity package and proper hitching. Real-world towing tends to be lower than the headline max if you're carrying options, occupants, and cargo in the bed. For everyday owners who tow a trailer for weekend toys, the sweet spot is often a mid-level configuration with the 3.5L EcoBoost or PowerBoost hybrid paired to a 3.73 or 3.35 axle. The performance and fuel penalty is reasonable while maintaining strong trailer stability. Interior and material choices. The F-150 ranges from hard-wearing truck trim in lower grades to near-luxury finishes in limited or platinum trims. Black interiors with contrast stitching, soft leathers, and wood or aluminum accents read upscale and are forgiving for daily wear when properly specified. Rear seat comfort in crew cab setups is excellent in most higher trims. The cabin can be spec'd with rear climate, power recline functions, and deluxe sound packages that make long trips pleasant. Look for practical storage solutions too. Under-seat bins, lockable central compartments, and intelligently placed charging points make a difference in daily life. Tech stack. This is where Ford has focused heavily. Large central displays, over-the-air update capability, Ford's sync interface and driver aids are now standard across many trims. Proximity features, hitch assist camera overlays, and trailer brake control integrations are not just niceties. They materially reduce stress when towing or maneuvering. If you're buying a truck for serious towing, pay close attention to the braking and camera package. They directly affect safety and confidence behind the wheel. Utility features you'll use: bed management systems, integrated tailgate steps, deployable tie-downs, and the ProPower onboard household-level outlets are the kind of things you'll appreciate 3 months into ownership. For tradespeople, that $7.2 kilo ProPower onboard on certain hybrid models means you can run high-draw tools without lugging a separate generator. For weekenders, the power output makes overnight stays much more comfortable. The bed is configurable with optional liners, cargo tie-downs, and tonneau covers that can change how you use the truck drastically. Off-road and performance variants. If your life includes dirt roads, forest trails, or rooftop tenting, options like the Tremor or Raptor models provide upgraded suspension travel, skid protection, and aggressive tire and wheel setups. For most owners, a mild lift, appropriate all-terrain tires, and a skid plate kit lets you camp and explore without sacrificing on-road civility. Don't buy a Raptor if you'll never use the extra capability. It's a specialized tool that's costly and tuned toward aggressive driving. Maintenance and ownership realities. F-150 ownership is generally straightforward, but the higher the spec, the more you should expect specialized needs. Hybrid and EV variants change the service tick list. Electric trucks require different service intervals for certain systems, and hybrids can add complexity. Insurance, storage, and a relationship with a dealer that understands your spec are worth prioritizing. For people who keep trucks long-term, planned maintenance and proper storage pay dividends in resale. Customization and aftermarket culture around the F-150 are huge. From leveling kits and bed racks to full-blown overlanding builds with rooftop tents and modular kitchens, the F-150 responds well to upgrades. If you plan heavy modification, think about component interactions. Wheel diameter changes affect gearing and speedometer accuracy. Larger tires can affect fuel economy and range in EVs. Suspension mods change ride geometry and towing behavior. A smart build plan starts with a solid baseline spec that supports your modifications without compromising factory safety systems. Now, and this is where I want your input, With the F-150's mix of power, utility, and tech, would you build this as an overland rig or a daily driver? Comment below your thoughts. Back on real-world ownership notes, fuel economy will vary dramatically by powertrain and usage. The hybrid power boost shows attractive combined MPG figures when used as intended, mixed driving with moderate loads and steady highway miles, and gives you significant onboard power output. Gas-only EcoBoost and V8 options deliver proven durability and simpler service networks. Meanwhile, Lightning owners trade fueling stops for charging planning and enjoy an entirely different cost profile and duty cycle. If you frequently haul long-distance trailers, examine the tow-induced range hit on EVs closely before committing. Safety and driver assists. Modern F-150s come loaded with semi-autonomous features that help on long hauls. Adaptive cruise, lane centering assists, blind spot monitors with trailer coverage, and multi-view cameras for hitching. These systems reduce cognitive load and are especially valuable on long trips and tight parking situations. Use them but always remain engaged. They're aids, not replacements for defensive driving. Value retention and resale. The F-150 has strong residuals relative to class thanks to its broad utility and brand recognition. However, extreme personalization and heavy aftermarket modifications can narrow the buyer pool later. If resale is a priority, balance personalization with broadly appealing upgrades. Black paint and tasteful wheel upgrades usually retain more buyer interest than wildly niche colorways or extreme lift profiles. Final build tips. Pick the cab and bed combination that fits 90% of your needs. The one-off jobs can be handled with rental gear. Prioritize towing package consistency if you tow frequently. The proper hitch, integrated trailer brake controller, and mirror package are invaluable. If you want electricity on the go, PowerBoost hybrid models are a neutral choice, providing exportable power and solid day-to-day comfort. If you're moving to an electric lifestyle and charging infrastructure works for you, the Lightning offers a different ownership and capability profile that's compelling in its own way. Wrap up. The Ford F-150 is a platform that can mean different things to different owners. In black, it reads clean and purposeful. Under that paint, you can spec a workhorse, a family hauler, a luxury daily driver, or a weekend warrior. The trick is defining priorities up front. Tow numbers, usable bed features, onboard power, and the kind of daily comfort you want, and then matching trim, engine, and options to those priorities. If you want a production-ready spec list, a trim-by-trim shopping checklist, and a build plan for overland versus city-focused F-150s, tell me exactly which use case you want, and I'll map the perfect configuration and parts list for you. Today, we take a close, no-frills look at the 2026 Mercedes-Maybach line. The cars that sit at the absolute pinnacle of Mercedes luxury. The Maybach GLS 600 SUV, the S-Class Maybach sedans, and the new Maybach SL 680 Roadster. This is a deep, practical tour for owners, buyers, and production teams who need crisp facts, usable buyer guidance, and visuals that sell the feeling of rarefied comfort. We locked the finish to manufacture premium white, the color that moves best across U.S. luxury markets. So the footage, press imagery, and showroom drops align to demand and resale realities. Let's begin with what Maybach actually represents in 2026. It is not a trim. It is a distinct expression inside Mercedes that layers bespoke materials, unique suspension tuning, elevated acoustic engineering, and white-glove delivery services on top of Mercedes' already rigorous engineering platform. The goal? Turn a Mercedes into a mobile, quiet, commissioned environment. A car that becomes an extension of a household or a corporate identity. That shows in the engineering choices. Extra sound deadening, specialized seats, and unique options from the manufacturer program. Model by model. What matters for owners? First, the Maybach GLS 600. This is Mercedes' SUV flagship for clients who want stature and presence, plus second-row sanctuary. Under the hood is a handcrafted 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 with mild hybrid assist, producing roughly 550 horsepower and very high torque in the mid-band, tuned to move mass smoothly, not to shout. The GLS Maybach's air suspension and active ride systems prioritize float and composure. The intent is cinematic, cruise-level calm in city traffic or cross-country drives. Rear passengers in the long configuration get near first-class accommodations, deep recline, leg support, independent entertainment and climate zones, and the kind of privacy features that make this an executive shuttle by design. For owners who want a commanding view, a chauffeur-ready cabin, and a vehicle that still fits luxury SUV duties on occasion, the GLS 600 is the logical Maybach SUV choice. Content reference, Website 0 Index 0. Next, the Maybach S-Class. This is the archetypal rear seat sanctuary and the literal owner's choice for boardroom arrivals. The S-Class Maybach elongates the wheelbase, laminates glass for acoustic isolation, and offers a catalog of manufacturer veneers, embroidered headliners, and bespoke color pairings. Powertrains range from refined inline-six mild hybrids to the handcrafted V12 in S680 spec for maximum smooth torque underload. The S-Class's interior architecture is intentionally designed around rear seat experience. Massaging recliners, deployable surfaces, privacy partitions, air purification and climate control that let the rear cabin become a sealed lounge. If you're commissioning for privacy and ceremony, that quiet authority when you arrive, the S-Class Maybach is purpose-built. Content reference, OIE seat. Index 1. Then, the Maybach SL 680. This convertible reinterprets grand touring with Maybach taste. Open-top spectacle, premium finishes, and chassis tuning that emphasizes comfort over track aggression. The SL680 uses a hand-built 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 in Maybach form, tuned to deliver refined acceleration with an engine note that's tempered and warm rather than raw. Materials are an explicit part of the narrative. Satin veneers, soft technical leather, and Maybach-specific badging appear throughout. This is the model for collectors, coast-to-coast grand tourers, and seasonal owners who want convertible ceremony with the stature of a Maybach crest. Content reference, Website. Index 2. Why the choice of premium white? Industry color reports, OEM data, and reseller trends continue to show white and achromatic finishes leading sales in North America. White photographs cleanly, plays well under studio and natural light, and preserves resale appeal, especially on ultra-luxury vehicles where surface definition, veneer contrast, and perceived scale matter. Locking the model visuals to a manufacturer white preserves broad market appeal on resale and ensures press photos and social assets are optimized for engagement. Content reference, Website. Index 3. Practical ownership considerations are central to any purchase of a Maybach. Expect longer lead times for manufacturer commissions, dealer coordination for handcrafted options, and a privileged delivery experience. Factory walkthroughs, build confirmations, and personalization sessions are routine. Budget for premium servicing, because many Maybach features active ride components, bespoke electronics, and handcrafted finishes are best maintained by factory-trained technicians. For owners who plan low annual mileage and careful preservation, Maybachs can be a reliable, long-term luxury asset. For high-mileage drivers, consider option choices that limit exposed delicate finishes or educate drivers on care routines for special veneers and leathers. What to prioritize when ordering? If you will be chauffeured, order the highest rear seat comfort and privacy bundle first. Those options deliver utility every day. After that, pick acoustic packages and climate upgrades, then manufacture veneers and stitching that will age gracefully. Avoid overly niche personalizations that will narrow future buyer pools unless you absolutely intend to keep the car long-term. Confirm software licenses and rear entertainment activations at pickup to avoid later activation fees. Performance notes and drive character. None of the Maybachs are designed as sporty track machines. They are tuned for linear power delivery, stability at speed, and ultra-low frequency isolation. GLS 600 delivers weight-friendly acceleration with suspension tuned for calm. S680 V12 models provide the smoothest thrust for long highway runs or dignified passes. Cell 680's convertible dynamics are balanced to allow elegant open-air thrust without excess harshness. Dealer nuance. Major urban and coastal markets tend to hold more Maybach inventory and can sometimes offer shorter lead times on popular build packages. If you are outside those markets, plan for national delivery and factory coordination for manufacturer requests. For resale planning, broad palettes like white, black, and deep gray typically have larger buyer pools than flamboyant one-offs. Checklist for delivery day. Inspect panel gaps under multiple angles of light. Evaluate acoustic performance at highway speeds. Verify rear seat recline range and motor smoothness. Confirm veneers are book-matched and edges are flawless. And test all software features for activation before final acceptance. Final framing. The 2026 Mercedes-Maybach family is not measured only by horsepower or headline figures. It is measured by experiential metrics: how quiet the cabin stays at highway speed, how natural the seat ergonomics feel after hours of sitting, and how the delivered finish reads in daylight and film. The GLS 600 is the stately SUV for height and presence. The S-Class Maybach is the rear seat sanctuary for ceremony and privacy. And the SL 680 is the convertible showpiece for curated collection and touring. If you prioritize presence, privacy, and commissioned quality, Maybach remains among the few brands that deliver end-to-end commissioning and white glove ownership. eAuto. Today we're spending focused time with the 2026 BMW 3 Series, the compact executive that still sets the tone for drivers who want a daily car that's actually fun to drive. We locked this build to a crisp white finish because it photographs clean, reads upscale on camera, and holds broad resale appeal across US markets. What follows is a straight, usable voiceover: exterior, tech, powertrains, driving feel, and the exact checks you should shoot on camera or test at delivery. Start with the look. The 2026 3 Series keeps the classic silhouette but sharpens surfaces for modern contrast. The grille sits wider and more purposeful. The LED signature is slim and precise, and the shoulder lines catch highlights in a way that makes low front, three-quarter hero shots sing. White paint accentuates that sculpting. It brings out shadow lines and prevents the surface from collapsing in studio light. For visuals, favor a front three-quarter low hero, slow slider reveals across the wheel to arch gap, and a wide lens cabin reveal to show dash scale. Powertrain breakdown. At launch, BMW offers a balanced spread. The 330i carries a turbocharged 2.0-liter four-cylinder, producing a friendly, usable power band. Think daily drive torque with efficient cruising. The M340i elevates to a tuned 3.0-liter inline-six, with an M performance calibration that noticeably tightens throttle response and boosts mid-range thrust. Both platforms use 48-volt mild hybrid tech to eliminate lag and smooth stop-start transitions. Transmission is an 8-speed automatic, and xDrive all-wheel drive is available as an option. Important if you live where traction matters. For buyers, the choice is simple: 330i for efficiency and everyday comfort, M340i for drivers who want a sharper personality without the compromise of a full-on M car. Interior and tech. BMW has upgraded the HMI and materials on the 2026 3 Series. Expect a larger center display with crisp graphics and an updated digital cluster. Materials feel more premium at common touchpoints. Better padding on armrests, higher-grade synthetic or optional leather, and tasteful trim that reads modern. Air vents are integrated cleanly. The center console flows into the dash with minimal clutter, and physical controls remain for the functions you use most. Rear seat space is still compact relative to larger executive sedans, but it's more than adequate for 2 adults on short to moderate trips. If rear passenger comfort matters, test legroom on camera and show the rear seat position from a passenger POV. Driving dynamics. Core DNA intact. The 3 Series still rewards confident inputs. The 330i is balanced. Steering is communicative, and suspension tuning is supportive without being punishing. The M340i is sharper, quicker steering weighting, firmer damper calibration, and a more eager throttle mapping. If you're filming drive clips, show identical camera runs for both powertrains to highlight the difference in character. Optional adaptive dampers are worth the money for mixed-use drivers. They smooth out urban potholes yet firm up when you press on the twisties. Practical use and utility. Trunk space competes well for the class, and the 3 Series handles everyday errands with composure. It's not a cargo hauler. If you need maximum load capacity or family space, consider BMW's wagon or an SUV variant. For commuting, the driver aids and camera systems are meaningful. Adaptive cruise with lane centering, blind spot assist, and multi-view cameras that help with tight parking or towing small trailers. Show the camera overlays and parking assist on video. Viewers appreciate seeing the actual screen graphics and assist behavior. Options and trim priorities. If you're buying, prioritize the driver assistance package for long-mile commuters, and the technology package for integrated navigation and voice functions that matter every day. Upgrade to better sound if music quality is a priority. The upgraded stereo makes a tangible difference. For creators, film both standard and upgraded audio demos so the value is obvious on camera. A Sportline or M Sport visual pack is a sensible aesthetic upgrade. It adds purposeful bumpers, sport seats, and visual cues without compromising daily usability. Wheels, tires, and ride balance. Choose 18 or 19-inch wheels for the best compromise between ride comfort and visuals. Larger 20-inch options look aggressive but will transmit more road harshness into the cabin. For the M340i, a performance brake upgrade is practical for spirited driving. For daily use, standard brakes are plenty capable. Tire choice matters. A sticky summer tire improves cornering, but sacrifices ride and wet traction. An all-season tire is the better daily compromise for most US buyers. Real-world economy and ownership. The mild hybrid smoothing nets small efficiency gains and better low-end torque feel. Expect the 330i to deliver the best real-world MPG without sacrificing drivability. Maintenance is typical of premium European cars. Scheduled services at dealer networks, and attention to software updates. Ensure OTA updates are enabled on delivery, and verify your dealership's policy on over-the-air and map updates so your car stays current without unnecessary shop visits. Safety and driver assist behavior. The 2026 3 Series ups standard safety hardware. Demonstrate adaptive cruise and lane-keeping assist in controlled segments, but always highlight that these are driver aids. They reduce fatigue but do not replace driver attention. Capture blind spot assist and cross-traffic alert activations on camera. These tactile moments translate well for viewers who want to understand everyday usability. Buying and resale strategy. The 3 Series holds solid residuals in the segment. For best resale, choose neutral finishes like white or gray, and avoid outre colorways unless the car is a personal keeper. Mild personalization is fine, but extreme bespoke choices can reduce the pool of future buyers. Document your build sheet, keep service records, and consider extended warranty packages if you expect higher mileage ownership. On-the-road filming tips. Capture a mix. Slow slider exterior reveals, driver POV with visible hands on the wheel, passenger cabin ambiance with natural sound, and raw exhaust clips for the M340i. Use a cabin mic to show the contrast between exterior engine tone and interior refinement. For exterior dynamism, choose a winding road with elevation changes and a flat, open stretch for acceleration runs. Keep camera moves consistent when comparing trims. What to test at delivery. Inspect panel gaps in natural light and photograph any anomalies. Test adaptive damper modes and steering modes back-to-back to confirm behavior. Verify infotainment activation and subscription options. Some features require dealer or owner activation. Confirm wheel and tire fitment against the ordered spec, and test rear seat recline or folding mechanisms if you expect to use cargo space frequently. Competitor context in short. The 3 Series competes with Audi A4, Mercedes C-Class, and Genesis G70. Audi leans into refinement and digital ergonomics. Mercedes prioritizes plush comfort and brand cachet. Genesis offers strong value and premium materials. The BMW still stands out for a driving edge with balanced tech. Final driving summary. For the daily driver who wants engagement, the M340i is the sweet spot. Spirited enough to be fun, usable enough for the commute. For buyers who want a polished, economical premium daily, the 330i gives the best compromise. Lock the paint to white for production and resale benefits. Prioritize the tech and driver assistance packages for real-life utility, and consider adaptive dampers for mixed driving conditions. If you're filming, keep the narrative tight. Exterior hero, cockpit tour, live drive comparisons, ownership checklist, and a clear delivery walkthrough. On delivery day, photograph and timestamp any concerns, verify software versions, and drive the car in all intended modes to verify behavior. That's the practical approach. BMW performance heritage, modern tech hygiene, and a visual recipe that sells.